Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? It is January the 8th, and it is freezing cold here in South Carolina, and it's pretty windy again today. As a matter of fact, I just got a text message from my wife here just a little bit ago, and she was telling me that the school got canceled for tomorrow, and it's because there's a storm coming in, and I guess it's going to be so bad that they decided to close the schools. We're supposed to have a lot of wind tomorrow and thunderstorms and chances of tornadoes tomorrow. So not looking forward to that. Especially with where I live at, because that just means that my driveway is going to be completely washed out and it's going to be a big mess here. But it's just part of living out here in the country like this, so we'll deal with it. But anyway, today, I thought today would be a good day to talk about my topic. This is something I've been kind of rolling around in my head for a while, and wasn't really sure if I wanted to talk about this. But after thinking about it, and everything that I talk about on this channel is, has a lot to do with my experiences, and I just want to be completely honest about my journey and what I've been through, and I feel like it's just not fair for me to share everything else and not share this part of my journey. And I'm sorry if this upsets anybody. It's not the intention of this video by any means, and I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing what I'm going to be talking about. It's just, it didn't work for me at the time. It could have been timing, just could have been the specifics that are involved in it. But like I said, it just didn't work for me, and it's worth another shot too. And I'm not saying that this is something that I'm not ever going to reconsider, because I actually have. So the topic for today is what was my experience with AA, and did it work for me? And well, obviously by the beginning of this video, I guess you've already assumed that it didn't work for me, and it did not. And I'll get into those reasons why. I'm sure a lot of you out there probably are in AA, and like I said, I have nothing wrong with AA in itself. I think the program's great. I think they have a lot of great points. I think the systems that they have in place are really good, especially for somebody who's just starting on their journey. It's more like, if any of you guys have ever worked for a corporate company before, they've got, every single thing figured out, and there's a protocol for it. I mean, for everything. And whether that be if an employee shows up late to work, or if somebody says something or does something, I mean, there's a repercussion for every action, and it's laid out in paper for you to a guideline for you to go by. And that's one of the things I didn't like about working for corporate. I liked it and I didn't like it for lots of tons of reasons, but that's another discussion for another day. But I find Alcoholics Anonymous to be kind of like that, just that it's groundwork that's already been laid out for somebody who's just getting into this, and for people who have remained sober, because I know a lot of people who have gone to AA. They still participate in AA. I've got good friends of mine who are in AA right now, and they swear by AA. And like I said, I have no problem with AA. It was just my experience that I had with AA, and I've had more than one experience. It just didn't work for me. So please don't take anything I'm gonna say here as I'm just trashing AA, because I'm not. I totally think that AA is a great thing for people. And it's continued to work for a lot of people out there, and a lot of people have remained sober with AA. I'm not bashing AA in any means. This is just my experience with AA, and that's all that this is. Okay, so now I've got that laid out. So originally, the first time I'd ever gone to AA or anything like that was when I was a teenager, and I had gotten into, like I said before, I've done a lot of different stuff, and alcohol was my drug of choice. It was the one that I always picked over everything. But when I was younger, I did dabble in some other drugs and stuff like that, and I had gotten myself kind of caught up when I think I was around 15, 16 years old. I think I was like 15 when it happened. Can't remember exactly, but it's a story for another day, and I'll get into that later. I'm not going to go into the whole story today, but I ended up in a rehab facility when I was really young. And like I said, it's a story for another day. But part of that whole process was we had to go sit in on AA meetings and NA meetings, and then later on in life I'd gotten into some trouble, and part of the program was I had to sit in all these classes. I got caught with some pot, and I had to go sit in on the class, and you have to like spend so many hours going to AA and stuff like that, or NA. I was a really young guy when I did that, and I didn't really understand the process. I didn't think I had a problem at all, so I didn't take any of it seriously. I remember going there, and everybody was so much older than me, and I just felt just out of place being there. I just didn't understand why I was made to go to that. I just did not feel like I had a problem like some of these people in there did. I remember there was, a really old guy there, and he was actually discussing one time about how he couldn't even get drunk anymore, so he started taking tequila and putting it in a needle and injecting it into himself. And here I am, this young kid, and I'm like, wow, I am nowhere near that. But getting on later in life, well, I never got to that point, but I got really bad. And I did go, I went when I was younger, and then later on in life, I would say close to 40, somewhere around there. I was either 40 or very close. My wife and I had been fighting about the drinking and everything, and she did not like the fact that I drank as much as I did. And she told me, I want you to go to AA, and I promised her I would go. And as a matter of fact, my wife would come pick me up from work and drive me to AA to ensure that I went there. And I told her that she could do that so that she knew that's where I was going. I was actually attending the AA. And she would drive me there and sit in the parking lot while I attended. And I went to quite a few meetings, and there was some good stuff that happened in there. And I spoke with everybody, and I actually told part of my story and spoke about how much I drank and everything. But with all that said, one of the things that made me feel really uncomfortable in the AA setting was that, I've said this previously, that I live in a really small town, and there are only but so many AAs in my town. And I don't remember exactly how many there were, but I know there was one at a church, and that church was like being redone. They were like refurbishing the church, so they had moved, and they had like consolidated like 2 or 3 different AAs into one place, which was another church that I would go to. And first time when I went there, I realized, oh wow, I know a lot of these people in here. And it wasn't just 1 or 2. Like, I knew like a majority of the people that were in that room. And the first thing in the title of Alcoholics Anonymous, well, the second thing is anonymous. And I didn't feel that anonymous in that meeting. And I'll get into a little bit more of that here in a second. But like I said, I would attend these meetings, and then I'm surrounded by this group of people that I already knew rather well, and I've known them for years. And like I've said, the restaurant industry is full of alcoholics and drug addicts, and a majority of the people that were in that meeting were in the food and beverage industry with me and knew me through that. I was attending the AA, didn't feel comfortable because I know a bunch of people in there. And then after a couple of weeks of me attending the AA courses, I get a phone call one day from my brother, and he's talking to me. And one of the guys that was actually in the AA class with me was a childhood friend of my brother's. And my brother didn't even know I was attending AA. He had no idea. I didn't discuss it with him. And one day he calls me, like I said, and in the conversation he brings up the fact that I've been attending AA. And I knew immediately, as soon as he said that, where that information came from. There's only one person who knew my brother that was there, and that was that guy. Which was really disheartening because I just thought that that was not going to happen. And I'd even pulled that guy to the side and said, don't speak about what I talk about in here, please. And he did. And, my family had kind of an idea about the amount of alcohol I was consuming, but they did not know to the extent. And I had disclosed that amount in the meeting, and when I was speaking with my brother, well, he knew how much I had been drinking. He knew I'd been attending AA classes. So stuff that I've been talking about in the AA was being told to my brother from this one individual. And that upset me pretty bad. I got a really bad taste in my mouth after that, because I just didn't understand why that information was being disclosed. I thought this was supposed to be anonymous, and it wasn't. So, on top of that, after like my first or second class or meeting or whatever they're called, I had one of the guys that stood up in front of the class, and he was like the guy. I don't not really remember how it works, but there's like one senior person that kind of opens up the meeting every day, and that was the guy. And I think he kind of ran the meetings every week, or however many times. It was like twice or three times a week. I can't remember. It's been some time now. It might have been every night. But anyway, the guy that ran the AA meetings, he stood up in front of the class one night and was talking with us and said, basically, if anybody's looking for a sponsor, you just walk up and ask somebody. And at the end of the meeting, I walked up to the guy and asked him, hey, would you mind being my sponsor? He said yes. And after that happened, he actually gave me, and I've got it right here, he gave me my book. And he also gave me his phone number and said, anytime that you're struggling or anything you have going on, give me a call. He said, and don't worry about it. You can call me anytime. He went into telling me about his sponsor and how much of a help his sponsor was with him, and he helped him out so much. And he said, I want to do the same thing. If you need me, call me. Well, I did, and I was extremely desperate when I called one time. And it was the first time I'd ever called. And I could just tell from the phone conversation that he just did not want to speak to me. He kept trying to get off the phone with me. And granted, this guy was in the same industry as me too. Did the same kind of a thing. Worked in the restaurant industry. So I understood that he was a busy guy, had a really weird schedule. But we kind of had matching schedules, because both of our schedules were in the restaurant industry. And a lot of times you have like Mondays and Tuesdays off. And those were our days off. And he had told me, like I said, call me anytime. I called him numerous times, and every time I did, it was just, every single time I could tell that he did not want to spend the time talking to me, and he had better things to do. And I remember one time I'd called, and he told me that he was watching a movie with his girlfriend, and or he was about to watch a movie with his girlfriend, and I was just really, the urge to drink was just completely taking me over, and I just needed some help. And basically what I got was, hey, I'm about to watch a movie. I don't have time to talk to you right now, and I'll call you back later. Well, I needed to talk then. And like I said, it's not anybody's fault. I'm just saying this is the experience that I had. And I don't know. I just didn't like the way that, I felt like there was going to be more support there, and it just didn't work out that way for me. And I just got discouraged, and I quit going. So that's basically what happened to me. I'm going to a small town church, expecting anonymity, but I didn't get it, because like I said, it is a small town, and a lot of the people that were involved in it were in the same industry as me. And it just made it really hard. for me to get comfortable there, and I don't know, it just wasn't the greatest experience for me. But like I said, I'm not saying that it's not for everybody, and I think that it does have some really good aspects to it. I think the program's really good. I think that the way they lay it out is really good. But that was just my experience with AA, and I left. I never went back, and I continued to drink after that. I went back to drinking, and I don't think I even quit again after that. I was towards the end of like my alcoholism getting really bad, and I remember I was still working in the restaurant industry at the time, so it was right before I had left. So it was probably about 4 years ago, and it was right when my alcoholism was really, really ramping up. I mean, to the point of just destructive. And like I said, I just stopped going, and then it just got completely worse. And then time went on, and then I got sick and all that kind of stuff. Do I wish I had stayed? I do. I really wish I had stuck around and went through all the steps and completed it, and but I didn't, and I can't look back on that and beat myself up about it, because it's over and done with now. And hindsight's always 20/20. You can look back on something and say, well, I should have done this. Well, it's too late for that now, and I can't go back. But I just wanted to share my experience of what it was like for me to go to AA, and why I don't attend now, and why it hasn't been a part of my sobriety journey right at this moment. Like I said, I don't know, maybe one day I might go back. I think it'd probably be a good thing for me to go back to that, because it would just help, especially have some just to have like somebody that I could talk to whenever I need to, and just to help other people in there as well. I do have a little bit of time under my belt now, and with the amount of experience that I've had with everything I've dealt with, it'd probably be a good thing to go in there and talk with those people, and share my experience. And like I said in this channel, let people know about the dangers of alcohol. And it's not just that it affects your life in aspects like your family. I mean, in all those aspects, or your financial status and all that kind of stuff, where you might lose your job because you're drinking, or your driver's license. I mean, it actually affects your health in a very negative way. And I think it'd probably be a really good thing for me to go in there and talk with those people about that. I really would hate to waste the amount of experience that I've dealt with and not share that with those people, and give them a little bit more of an understanding of the effects of alcohol. But as of right now, it's just not it's not on my radar at this moment. And maybe, like I said, maybe one day I will go back, but like I said, that's just my experience with it. And please don't get angry at me about that. I'm sorry if I upset anybody with this video. Like I said, I have no negative connotations towards AA. It just was my experience towards it, and my experience with it, and it's just my experience, and I just wanted to share, and why I'm not involved in AA at this moment. And I just thought I owed you guys that. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here. I did in the comments with the video that I did yesterday about depression and anxiety. I got a lot of really good feedback, and one of the things I was talking about in that video yesterday was, about how we don't talk about our problems enough. We don't get them off our chest, and we don't, especially men, we don't talk about our feelings enough. And I was talking with somebody in the comments section this morning about that. We were going back and forth, and I was saying that as men, from being raised as boys, we're basically told, don't have feelings, don't suck it up, and wipe your tears off, and all that kind of stuff. And I think that'd be a really good idea for a video to talk about at some point here in the near future. Because I do have 2 boys of my own, and I think a lot of the problems that I had coming up, that led me to being depressed and having anxiety and drinking the way I did is because I bottled all my feelings up. I never discussed them with anybody. I never let anybody know when I was upset. When I was emotionally distraught, I never discussed it, never talked about it. And I think that that's something that we really need to work on, especially as men. I really think that we need to open up a little bit more and share how we feel. And this is just my opinion, and I could be dead wrong, but I want to teach my boys that if they're feeling a certain way about something, to talk about it. I don't want them to feel like they can't. And I think that's a really good idea for a video coming up really soon. So let me know what you guys think about that. And I know it doesn't really pertain exactly to this channel, but like I said, I like to talk about different things, and I think it kind of does and it kind of doesn't, but I think it does lead down that path. And I'd like to know what you guys think about it. Would you like to see me make a video about that and emotions? And I really would like to hear, because one of the things that I'm pretty sure it was a lady I was speaking with in there, she was telling me, that society holds like different rules for women, and women have a different like social accountability they have to meet up to. And if you guys are interested in that, if you guys could share any of that, like what is it, this difference between men and women as far as what society expects of us emotionally, if you guys could share that with me in the comment section. I'm really interested to know that. I've never really thought about it from that angle, and I think it'd be a great discussion to have. So if you guys could let me know about that video idea, I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to see me talk about that, and if you guys could share, what society expects from women emotionally, I would greatly appreciate that so much. That'd be a nice topic to discuss. Like I said, I like to try to figure these things out from the root causes and try to get down to the nitty gritty and to the deep, dark abscesses of this, and figure it out. Like, why are we doing the things that we're doing? And I think that'd be a really good topic that we might be able to talk about and maybe figure some of this stuff out. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, guys. I can just keep talking and talking and talking all day long. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I just checked the numbers. We're at 1,680 subscribers right now. That's freaking unbelievable. Like I said yesterday, it was like a month and a half ago, I was like at 400 subscribers, and we're almost at 2,000 subscribers right now. That is just so crazy. People all over the world. I just spoke to somebody from France this morning, Belgium, Australia. I mean, and I'm just a little guy here in South Carolina who lives out in the middle of the woods, and these videos are reaching people worldwide. You guys hitting the subscribe button, liking the videos, commenting, that really pushes these out into the algorithm so that more people can see it, and we can really spread the awareness on alcoholism and addiction, and we can save one life at a time. And I really appreciate you guys so much. So please leave those comments in the comment section, guys, and until tomorrow, y'all have a great day today. Love you all so much. Bye-bye.